Helps if you turn the sound on, you know. Anyway, we'll try again. As I was saying, it's that kiwi again. We're going to stream for ages, but here I am. Got a market stall tomorrow. It's the very one in the photo up there. So my table in the morning is going to look a little bit like that. Making mice. Well, I am. I have 2 in my stock. Now I know somebody's going to buy 2. At the moment, she's buying the 2 in there, in my boxes. But she hasn't seen the new ones. So before I go to the market, I'm going to offer her the opportunity to buy any 2 she wants. She wants... Okay, hello. These ones are in the photo. And these are close up. That's what they look like. I think they're really cool. I've only ever once before made a lady mouse in one colour, and it was bright yellow. And she looked really cool. So I thought, radio, I'm going to make this one in bright red, see how it goes. I think it's really cool. The man, I didn't know what to do, so I thought, yeah. Anyway, that's what I did. There he is. He got a little tail. Look, stupid thing. Yeah. There's another lady mouse. Just finished yesterday. So there's 2 lady mice. Quite different. See, different hats. This one's called a straw hat. No, that one's called a straw hat. Weird thing. But never mind. That's a bonnet. Apart from that, they're almost the same, except one has a longer jacket than the other, and this has got 2 colours, of course. So make another gentleman mouse. The pattern calls it gentleman mouse. So here's this one. This one is in progress. There's the trousers. Inside out because I'm sewing it up. Okay. This is the... Wait on, that belongs to the pukeko. Excuse me. This is going to be the coat. I'm making a long coat. This one's got a short coat. This one's got a long coat. Stick around, I might finish it. So there's the long coat. Couple of arms. You knew mice had arms, right? This is mice do. Those boring real ones only have legs. Top hat probably going to be the grey. This one I did the top hat the same as the... Now this one is the medium size or shorter top hat. If you have a look in that photo there on the right hand side edge, the grey hat is a tall hat. It's bigger than that one. Oh, my eyes decided to be itchy, why not? So anyway, I've got this partially made. And then if you have a look at my stream thing, it says, and finishing off a pukeko. There's a pukeko. That one's already done. I knitted a lot of this one on stream if you have a look at previous streams. And of course, I found a little stitch sticking out. And of course, my scissors have wandered off. Here we go. You wouldn't think I had about 4 pairs, would you? I couldn't find one. That's Rooster in the background. My husband, Rooster NZ. He can't spell cockadoo. Never mind. We knew what you're on about. Undoubtedly, he'll give himself a shout out shortly because he streams as well. Anyway, that's a pukeko. He does look like that, sort of. The real one is probably a little taller. That better? It does have that blue on the front. That's almost the right colour. He has long gangly legs, which are probably longer in proportion than that, really. They look so funny when they're running. You should Google pukeko. Pukeko. And get a video and watch them run. They look so silly. They lean forward because they're tall and gangly. And they look like they're going to fall over as they're running. And yes, it does have feathers at the back. And almost everybody who sees it, somebody might even come on today and say, oh, you got the white feather. Because it does have a white feather under the tail. I got this pattern off a different pattern. It's actually a Puss in Boots. And that's the feather in his hat. Cool, huh? Bit hard to see, but there you go. The pukeko itself is a pattern that I created based on a kiwi. See, so if you have a look at my little picture thing, I'm not quite sure where it appears on your screen, but the little little knitted kiwi, which is my little picture. There's the kiwi, see? Okay. Except it has a longer beak. That's the kiwi. And then I looked up a duck pattern. So I always joke that a pukeko is a kiwi with a duck bum and a tail and long legs. Well, kiwi has long legs too, but the beak is smaller. It does have a beak just like that. The first one I didn't put the little red bit on the face, and so it looked funny. So I actually embroidered it on. It's a bit weird. They do have funny little red eyes. Anyway, that's the one I have done. This is a partially made one. The theory is, maybe, I'll finish the mouse and the pukeko before the market tomorrow. See, slightly unfinished. But look, I've got a beak. Let's see, there's a beak. There's one leg so far. Exactly the same yarn as the other leg, which I put somewhere. Oh, I remember seeing it fell on the floor. So this guy only needs a beak, 2 legs, and 3 feathers, and some eyes. He's got no eyes yet. So I haven't knitted any for quite a while. But as I say, I created that pattern. It took 4 goes to get it looking really good. I think this is number 4, or number 3 look the same. Based on other patterns, so I'm not overly clever that I could completely created it, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, stop playing with the pukekos, put it down. So I'm making this other mouse like this one. At the moment, he's literally in bits. So where was I? Here we go. So I'm sewing up these breeches. They're like, the old-fashioned trousers that came to a... Well, they're not a point exactly, but, they're gathered around the top of the shoes. It's going to have little feet like this fella. Funny little feet. But then, hey, it's a mouse with 2 legs and 2 arms and a top hat. I mean, good grief, Of course it's going to look funny. Excuse me. This is the colour of the... Oh, excuse the needle shoved in there. Just so I don't lose it. That's inside out at the moment because you generally sew things inside out. Although sometimes I do it the right way around. And yes, I'm aware I'm talking fast. Slow down. I keep being told that. Slow down, you talk too fast. Anyway, this is a mouse. So I'll just sew him up. What knitting do I still have to do on him? So I've done the mouse trousers and top. I'm just matching the 2 greens together so that when it's the right way around, it doesn't look stupid. Although this one's going to have a long coat, so you won't actually see that seam. And I've just dumped the needle. Excuse me. There it is. So yeah, as I was saying, I've got a market stall tomorrow. And I'm hoping to finish this mouse and this pukeko. All is not lost if I don't, but it would be good if I could. It's, what are we? New Zealand time, 12:14 p.m. Friday the 8th, the 5th. Start again. The 5th of the 8th, so 5th of August. It's been a week, busy week. I keep saying, I might stream today, You know how those days go? Well, this week's been full of it. Today's full of it too. I've got some things I need to do later this afternoon. No, I need to do the mice anyway. Well, technically it's mouse because the others are finished. And I want to do the pukeko before I pack the van tonight. I always have it packed at night because this particular market is at a school just out in the country a little bit from where we are. We're in a town, but we're not very far from, well, in the suburbs of a city, actually. It's not very far that way. I'm thinking east. Yep. Not very far east, and we're in the country. To which my Texan-born husband will say, that ain't country. Well, ain't city, ain't town. Yeah, what he means is it's not in the middle of nowhere. What do you fellas call it? In the boondocks. We call it in the wop-wops or the sticks. Same thing. Out in the middle of nowhere. No, it's not in the middle of nowhere. They're farms. We don't have ranches, however one wants to pronounce it. We do have very large farms, but like, out that way, they've got, what have they got? I'm thinking there's dairy farms, there's sheep, there's horses, there's, well, not a horse ranch farm, it's a, they raise horses. What else is out there? A lot of sheep, cows. Trying to think, what's out east on the farms? Sheep, cows, horses. Ooh, what's the month? August. Oh, there'll be lambs. Oh, let's go and look at the lambs. Let's go and look at the lambs. There'll be lambs in August. If not now, then very soon. What else do they have out there? Well, they've got a strawberry farm. They grow strawberries. Of course, kiwi fruit. Of course, they won't be there now. Oh, yeah, there's kiwi fruit out there. What's kiwi fruit season? Shows how much I know. I don't know what kiwi fruit season is. Summer, I thought. I wouldn't have clue. I don't need to know because you can almost always buy them. Speaking of buying things, goodness, isn't everything expensive? So I was talking to somebody from somewhere else and they said everything's expensive there now. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. It's making it very difficult for everybody everywhere. So just get on with it. Anywho, so I'm sewing up the back of this little mouse. So that's the trousers, breeches, whatever one would like to call them. It's an old-fashioned dressed mouse, so technically they're breeches. Keep that little bit of yarn in case I need it for a little bit, because it's long enough to sew something, let's see. So I'll just sew this little end in, and then I'll sew the top. So this is the trousers part at the bottom. This is like the shirt, although it says do it in the same colour as the jacket. So it's not really part of the jacket, so it's just so good. Oh, I know what I didn't do. That other mouse, he's supposed to have a scarf. I must remember to do that. That other gentleman mouse who's somewhere here. No, here he is. He should have a scarf. And because he's got this kind of cool collar thing going, that's just folded back. So it looks like a coat. So I should put a little scarf on him. It's quite a lot of rows, I have to say. But what I tend to do is tie the scarf to hang down the side. If you ever look at that other one with the little grey hat, he's got a scarf hanging down the side. So you can still see the collar and stuff. Otherwise, it just covers it all. Okay, so I'm just sewing this little end in. Trying to find somewhere to put my needle so it doesn't walk off. And I'm just going to sew up. Always leave a bit at the end. Some people do, some people don't. I always do when I cast off to sew it up with. So I can either sew it from the top to the centre, or I can run it down and sew it up, and that's what I'm going to do. So that I'm left at the top with the rest of this. Sew the top part up. I could do it the other way. No reason why not either way. Get rid of that end that's there. Lovely autumn day today. They tell us, no, not autumn, winter. They tell us that it's going to start getting warm, and I'm like, what happened to winter? It got cold, yeah. I mean, it's cold. Well, it has been cold. It's nice and warm in here. Got something inside. But outside, just in a t-shirt, it's lovely right now. They say it got up to 21 yesterday, which is, what's that, 72? I mean, it's quite respectable, huh? Good for getting wash and dry, which I have to put out sometime. I did a little bit of washing today, thinking, yep, might as well get some dry, use the sunshine. Right, so I just ran the needle down to the bottom, and now I'll just sew this bit up. I'm thinking to myself, I might save myself a headache and turn it inside out. I mean the right way around. Because this bit that I'm going to sew up, you're not going to see anyway. But I'll still do it tidy. That I always do, you know. But I need to stuff it, see. And if once I've sewed this up, it's going to much narrower top. So if I do it now, it's easier to stuff because it's a bigger hole. Then I just sew that up, keeping it on the right side. So as I was saying, lovely day out there. Let's say up just a bit. See, that bright sunshine. But if I leave that open, you can't see me at all. I'm in this sort of halo of light. Well, no, more than a halo. I'm just in this light and you can't see me. Mind you, that's not a bad thing, I don't suppose. Anyway, lovely day outside. Blue skies. Lovely and warm. But we didn't really have a proper winter. And here we are, early August. So in the southern hemisphere, our winter's like June, July, August. So it should be really cold. Can be in the morning, can be last thing at night. Yes, very cold. I wonder what they think our temperature was last night. I say that tongue in cheek because I reckon in this winter time it's always colder than they say it was here, where we are. I mean, the temperatures are not taken out our back door, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what they think the temperature was yesterday and today. It may or may not be accurate. Okay, that's not exactly where we are. Let's get a more accurate of where we are. We'll go try that one. So it says areas of low cloud or fog morning and night. Well, I got up late, so I missed the fog. It's fine.
Yeah, I saw the fog.
Yeah, we do get fog here sometimes. And when the airport over there, Hawaii, can often get fogged in because it's around near the water, on the water, technically. It's funny when you come into land, you look like you're going to land in a drink. Okay, otherwise fine with light winds. Well, that sounds right. It says that it thinks it's 11 degrees Celsius. So that's I'm just doing a rough calculation. Rough calculation is double it, 20, add 32, which is your freezing point. So 20, 32, 52-ish. They reckon it was 6 this morning. Yeah, it's cold. 6, 12, 44. Too cold. That's why I got up late. It's cold. They reckon it's going to be 17. It could be that now. Could be more than that now. It's cold warm outside. You know, that's what they reckon. So we'll see. Trying to see if it tells us what it was yesterday. Probably nobody cares what it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it was nice and warm during the day. So, hush up and stuff the mouth. So we're not really sure if it's going to have lots more cold or not. But I mean, 6 is pretty cold. So that's what I'll say it was, 44-ish. It's a rough guide. So if you want to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you take off 32 and divide the answer. So at 32 you get 0, which is correct. That's our freezing, 0. We used to do Fahrenheit, don't remember it now. I remember silly things like if your temperature's 100, that's not good. Remember that. Any higher is getting a bit ridiculous. I mean, that's your body temperature. So just use ordinary toy stuffing here. Some acrylic something. Safe. Easy to wash. If you needed to wash the toy, just wash it carefully with soapy water. And rinse it out. Clean water. Try and squeeze as much out of it as you can carefully. Put it somewhere to dry for a long time. Mine sit on the clothesline, hanging by their ears occasionally. Or put it in hot water, cover it on top of the cylinder. Some countries you can't do that, but here you can. In fact, our linen cupboard is where the hot water cylinder is, so it's quite cool. Well, actually it's quite warm. Oh! Sorry. These don't look pretty cool. So just done that bit, so just doing the next bit, which is the top where the shirt is. This is the bit I haven't sewed up yet. But it's so much easier to do it through the top with the back still open. As I said, that bit's going to be covered completely by the coat anyway. And I don't leave the coat so that it will come off. I always make sure that the coat is sewed down. I did used to leave the coat just kind of hanging. Oop, that's Rooster sneezing. Did you ever hear a chicken sneeze? So I used to just leave the coat. Well, no, I didn't. At the very beginning, I left the coat just sitting and it curled up because it's stocking stitch. I mean, of course it curls up. So I always take it down. It doesn't look too bad taken down. And it also means it's going to stay there. So that's just got breeches up to here, and it's got that little shirt that you can see at the top, or whatever part it would really be, because it's the same as the jacket. So that's anyway. That's the other mouse. Enough already. So this one's going to have a long coat, and I'll take it down again because it looks better tacked down. And also, if somebody plays with it, it's not all going to come off, because children have this thing of taking the toys clothes off and leaving them sitting around the place. Silly. Boys are worse than girls, in my experience. It's, why is Dolly not got her clothes on, cos? Whatever. Anyway, I'll just keep doing this. Never enough sitting there, fell out there. So I just sewed it carefully up on the outside with mattress stitch, so you can hardly see the seam anyway. But as I said, it is going to be covered by the coat. Just put a bit more stuffing on the top now that I've finished that little bit there. And the way this one's done is the top is around the shoulder edge there is just sewed up across, and then when you do the head, you sew the head on the top of the shoulder. Some toys you sort of go straight on it, the head, well, not this one. Trying to decide which way to do it. Doesn't really make any difference because again, when you put the head on, it's going to cover it all. And the coat will cover the rest. So the plan today is to finish off this one mouse and do the scarf of the other mouse that I forgot I hadn't done. It doesn't have to have a scarf. I mean, the lady could have a scarf. There's a rooster over there. The lady could have a scarf too, but I've chosen not to bother. And the other lady could have a scarf too, and I've chosen not to bother. I've put different hats this time. I don't think I've ever made that hat before. I don't know if I like it or not. It's meant to look like a straw hat. Getting annoyed with her hair that keeps leaning backwards. Straw hat? So I could put a scarf, I could put a knitted scarf, like the other male mouse, which I don't have here because it's packed away in my market stock boxes. But there's a photo of it there in the little grey top hat, the right hand side of my pictures there. Anyway, I've decided not to bother with a scarf for that one, but I will make a scarf for him. I thought I'd make it in this grey. If I can find that grey. I don't suppose it has to be, does it? Different grey. I suppose I could give him a dark grey one. I'll have to think about it. He doesn't actually have to have a scarf, but I thought I would. And the photo there, he doesn't have one. Anyway, just going up the top of this. It's a quiet morning in here this morning. So if anybody's hopping in and lurking, hello. Or hopping in and watching my stream later on, hello. Very nice to have your company, even though you're not here chatting. Right, where did that grey go? I know it's right here because I checked that I had it before, didn't I? Oh, wait on, I've got this, but that'll do. Yep, that'll do. I just want to go. It doesn't really have to even be in grey now. Think about it. But I feel better because it was the same colour. Get rid of the stuffing. I'm just going to pinch the waist in here by just running a running stitch around it. That's what the fashion used to do. There's a noisy chair over there. Yep. So I'm just going to run the running stitch around the centre of this thing, just to pinch the waist in a little bit, and then I'll put the coat on. It just goes over the top. So just run a stitch around here. Doesn't really matter particularly how tidy because it's going to be covered anyway. It's just to pull the waist in a bit. As I was saying, a hello to those who popped in to have a look, have a lurk. Feel free to chat. Or those who pop on afterwards, I'm aware that people come and have a look at my stream later on. I do that to people too. Oh, I wonder what that person was doing. Sit here. The only difference in many ways is you can't talk or type. Type talk. See, so that's just pulling that in just that little bit, just to shape it. And then when the coat's on top, it'll be barely noticeable. Just pulling that in just a little bit, just to mark the waist a bit. And just get rid of this, the yarn into the centre of the stuffing. Right. Now normally I would put the head on before I put the coat on because it kind of looks kind of weird sticking this on without the head. But I'll just show you how it's going to sit. It's a long coat. The other gentleman mouse has a short coat. So the men's one goes left to right. Always have to do that. Can never remember unless I try it on myself as to which way things get buttoned. So that's going to be the gentleman's coat, and I will tack it down because it doesn't stay there. See, if I just left it like that, over time that's going to curl up, it's not going to sit there. So I do tack it down. It doesn't look too silly. Although the long one looks okay. I'm thinking to myself, do I need to tack that one down? I'll have a think about that. And then I just sew some little mop buttons on the front. It looks a bit weird, doesn't it, without a head? make the head. So I'm going to do it in the same colours as this mousy kind of colour. I quite like it. I bought one the other day. I'm running out of something very, very similar. So I bought another one. Here we go. That's the one I bought. Juggling it. That's the one I bought. So that's going to do a lot of mice and or whatever else I do with it. Where's that? Not coming out. There we go. Needles. Tiny knitting needles. So I'm just going to make a head for the mouse. Pattern, 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 pattern. I know it's here because I got it. I thought, yep, I've got everything. My pattern's wandered off. Ah, here it is. That's the pattern I'm using. So I'm not doing 100% exactly what's on there, but pretty close. Just sometimes you think, I'm not doing that. If somebody asks me to do something specifically exactly like something, that's different. If I'm making it up as I go along, well then that's what happens. So just going to make a little head out of this. Cast on. So it's in a shiny plastic. I've got to get so the light's not on it. Here we go. 8 and 56. Cool. So yeah, beautiful afternoon outside. Just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. Yes, we're ahead of everybody else. I didn't even know that until about 20 years ago when I was chatting with somebody. And I realised what? I started asking Mr. Google a lot of questions and discovered that New Zealand is the first country across the date line every day. There's somewhere way at the top of the northern hemisphere. What's that? Is that the top edge of Russia? My geography's kind of up there anyway. I think they're in the same thing. Then the next one over is pretty much Australia. They're 2 hours behind. Stop and search 2 rows. Just making sure I've got the right number of stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. So yeah, I was quite intrigued by that. Find out the rest of the world's way behind us. I didn't know that. Just when I started chatting, it'd be more than 20 years ago, it'd be 21 years ago now. Back in the days when a lot of people didn't even know where New Zealand was. Certainly some people I was chatting to didn't. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Mind you, I have to say that my knowledge of the United States was a lot less. Shish you. I mean, like, I knew what shape Texas was because I'd seen it somewhere on something. And that's actually where I went to stay for 2.5 years with that rooster who's been smart there. I couldn't have told you where in the United States it was, though. Absolutely no idea. I found out, of course. Increase in each stitch to the end. Okay, so this is a full increase across it. Used to amuse me. You get in a chat room and you'd say, "Where are you from?" And instead of saying the United States, they'd put 2 letters. Okay, what does that mean? So you shove it in Google and it tells you what state it is. I'm like, okay. So you have a look to see where that is. I mean, I didn't know where OKTX. Oh, New York I worked out. Some of the others, I'm like, what are you? So they asked me where I am, and I go NZ, and they go, what state's that? So that was quite funny. It was quite funny. Because we're not a state. We're a country all by our little selves. Although we are part of the British Commonwealth of Nations still. Speaking of which, they're having Commonwealth Games. It's like the Olympics, but it's just the Commonwealth countries. We're doing rather well, I'm reading. I haven't been actually watching it, but listening to the news. We've won things in cycling and other things I can't remember. swimming, a couple other things. I sort of watch some of it sometimes. I haven't done this time. I prefer track and throwing stuff, so on the field. And gymnastics. I find gymnastics fascinating because I absolutely cannot understand how people can do that. Oh, hello, it's a frenzy. Making a mouse, finishing a mouse, another mouse. That one increase. I'm doing the head, like this fella. I'm doing a head like that. You've met my mice before, frenzy. Okay. Oh, Lord. This is the one I'm making. Oh no, head. And that jacket's not sewed on yet. I've just finished sewing up that and stuffing it. So I'll put a jacket on soon, but he looks funny without a head. So I'm actually going to put the head on before the jacket because it gets really irritating trying to sew that bit on the top without the head being there. You sort of want to get it tucked around the neck, and then the collar folded back, sort of a thing. So what am I doing? What did I say? That one increase. Knit one increase to the end. That's it. But that means knit one increase repeat, not just. Sometimes you read them and you get it wrong. Oh, there's a pattern the other day. What did it say? Knit two together, knit four. No, knit two together 4 times. And anyway, I did it all the way across the row instead of what it said. Got to the end, I thought that's all wrong. Where you been? I have not been here. I've been right here, but I haven't been on here. I've been so busy doing a million things, like a million things. Sometimes I end up sitting here knitting, watching some soap opera thing, or minding kids, or picking up kids, or every day's just got ridiculously busy. I said to Rooster today, I'm going to stream. I'm just going to stream. Besides, I've got a market tomorrow, the same one that's in the photos there, and I want to finish this mouse if possible, and the other pukeko, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll be able to get to the end of this row. Yep. Increase. I'm a bit croaky today, aren't I? So there's the other gentleman mouse. Here's the one I'm making who looks like the headless horseman at the moment. Here's the first one I made of this set. It doesn't have to be a set. Anybody can pick and choose whatever they want. The other one that's in my market box is the one with the lady with the black and red dress and the man with the tall grey top hat. So that makes 4. And then I just finished this last night. This is a lady dressed mostly in yellow but with a blue skirt. So I decided I'd do a different hat. So that's a proper bonnet. That's just, they call it a straw hat, but whatever you like. And then I did a different bow thing. I just used what the pattern said and changed around. So anyway, this is the latest one. I was just remarking earlier, shall I put a scarf on this guy? I haven't. I could do one where you do 4 stitches and knit forever. Or I could do it like this lady's hair tie. That's just cast on 36 and cast it off. And that's quite a good tie too. That's how you do that one. Then I made it a bow. Anyway, I put the mouse down and stop playing with them. I want to finish this other mouse. I may or may not. We'll see. So I thought, right, I'll sit on here. And as Lady P says, you sit still for a few hours, you get something done. And streaming makes you sit down. Sort of. 9. What's a 9, Mr. Rooster? What's colon 9 mean? Oh, maybe it's meant to be a right bracket, which makes a smile. That's what it is.
Oh, I was trying to do sad face.
Sad face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's trying to do a sad face. Never mind. We understand. There you go. They're funny looking faces, those ones. They look like little ghosts. Wonder what that's about. It's not really. It's not really that sad. Anyway, it's I've just been ridiculously busy organising this and organising that and organising the other. Oh, that's the main thing I've been doing. I'm treasurer for something, and it's just past the year end, and even though it's an unpaid job, still needs doing. So I had to sort all the nonsense for the end of the year, and that takes a long time. And it's an increase. Plus, the annual meeting is only a month away, and I've got to get the books reviewed. So I've got to, still haven't done it. I decided no. Last night I drew a line. I wasn't going to do it. I just needed to stop for a while. So later this afternoon I'll pick up and probably finish it off. I think she did that on purpose. Anyway, how you been, Frenzy? Every now and again I have a little look and it says Frenzy's online. I think, oh yeah, I'll go and have a look when I finish this, and then by that time you got off again. What is that? Got a small screen. I'm trying to see what. Is that a little monkey or something? It's a bit weird. Yeah, I was just saying before. Here we are, beginning of August, which is meant to be middle of winter. It's a beautiful day outside. It was about 72 yesterday in the middle of the day. They said it wasn't, but it was. It was here. It was about, what did we work it out at? 44 this morning. Not too cold for me. Just seeing if I peel one row or more. It'd just be my luck, and I'll not read it right, and I'll end up doing something dumb and undoing stuff. 7 rows. You told you I needed to read it. Ooh. Doesn't sound very nice at all. Sorry, somebody came in. You know how it goes. Grind it up in what are you on about? Grind it up in hot water, let it sit, sip it over time. We're talking garlic, are we? Yeah. Okay. Well, there's so many things going around here at the moment. Nobody knows what everybody's got. I mean, can you actually catch it off them? One son and his wife have got some kind of cold. Oh, you like my rooster? Oh, huh. We think we're just getting over something. Well, we are just getting over something. What it was, I couldn't tell you. I think Rooster had a cold, or
Still got a cold.
I don't know if it was flu or not. But everybody's saying the same thing. Everything that people are getting is just lingering. Just don't go away. And then when you just think you're right, you think, cool. You wake up in the morning and you're stuffed up again. It's kind of what happened to Rooster. So he's very unimpressed. I'm, don't know. It could just be allergies. I have allergies all the time. Just sometimes it gets worse. But again, the whole that pandemic thing. Who knows? I have tested positive, negative twice. Haven't tested for over a week. It doesn't feel like it must. It would be. And then they're saying, well, we've pretty much opened our borders to people from overseas. Well, of course, people are going to bring all kinds of stuff in. They're saying, oh, all the flus and everything that we haven't had because the borders have been closed. Ruddy, ruddy, rada. Someone's going to bring it in, ruddy, rada, some more. And yeah, so everybody's sniveling and stuff and testing for COVID. Well, not everybody, but some are. Oh no, it's not COVID, it's not COVID. Oh yeah, radio. This is presuming the test was right. And we're not going to go there. End of that subject. We're not sure if the tests are accurate. Either way. To be completely honest about it, rada rada rada, that's the one. Anyway, next subject. Yeah. So I sound a little croaky. I still think mine's allergies. I suffer from allergies all the time. It's just how it is. And nasal spray doesn't seem to help. Nothing seems to help, so I just put up with it. Take lozenges all the time. Anyway, knitting a mouse head. Looking for mice. Here we go. I like that one. Just like that one. Oh, cheeky looking thing, isn't it? Oh, and I've got to do ears. Did I do ears for that other lady mouse? I forget. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, she's got no ears. Oh, she needs ears. Like this one. See, I looked at it yesterday and I thought, she needs ears. Sits on top of the hat. I looked at it last night and I thought, yep, that's everything. You got tail. Nope, ears. So I'll put that there in front of me. So it reminds me, put the ears on. Well, we don't get any choice about the borders being closed. It's done way high above our pay grade. I reckon. Um, well, of course, there's always two arguments about opening borders, isn't there? No matter where you are. Should you have them closed so nobody has a life? Should you keep them closed so that people don't get sick? We'll leave it there. Our borders have been pretty much closed. And being an island, or a group of islands, one, two, counting, five. Being islands, we're kind of cut off from the rest of the world. The only way in is boat and here, can't walk, can't drive. So by closing the borders at the airport, it's pretty hard to sneak in by boat, although you could. In the first wave of the pandemic, a blooming ocean liner parked somewhere out in the ocean, and it was full of it. Made them stay there. Well, fair enough. What do we want to look after them over here for? You know what I'm saying? Although, to be totally honest, no matter what any government does, half or a large number of the population are going to think they're right, and a large part of the population are going to think they're wrong, isn't it? That's how it goes. I can't see poor old Rooster lasting the day. I think he's going to be heating for bed sometime. He's just miserable. Oh, we could get some of that, what do you call that stuff? Eucalyptus, and put it in a bowl of hot water. That's quite good. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
A little bit of liquid eucalyptus. It's the same stuff that's in our Vicks and your mentholatum, except you don't have all that greasy stuff. It's just the actual smelling ingredient thing. You put it in a bowl of boiling hot water and sniff it in. Sometimes just pop it on a hanky. Do you have hanky? You call it that? Handkerchief or tissue. Even a tissue will work. Just breathe it in. I find that helps clear my head sometimes. Yeah, well, they were warning us before winter. Oh, all the germs that we haven't had. You know, it occurs to the rest of us, and this conversation is had by many all the time. Where'd the flu go? And also, if you read the statistics, okay, we're only a little bitty country, right? We've only got 5 million people here, but 300 die of the flu every year. That's never reported because it's not overly important. Well, it is, but you know what I'm saying. If they reported everybody who died of everything all the time, then the news would be 24/7, telling us who died and didn't die of what. Um, but the reality is, some of the flu wouldn't have been there um, because we were locked down. We were literally locked down for quite a few weeks. It would be 3 months, was it? It was awful. The very first lockdown, which is 2020, March 2020 over here, it was pretty horrendous. And we all thought, great, this is wonderful. Now what? We did get out of it, but you know, in that whole time though, we had something ridiculous like 13 deaths, 13. But then nobody went anywhere. And if you did, it was to the supermarket. You were wearing masks, you're sanitizing your hands, you're staying away from everybody. It was awful. I guess most countries went through that. Did you see me do 2 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I did. I'm nearly at the end. Now this is the snout. So that's the back of the head. That's the back of the head. So now I'm going to go down the snout, which is knit two together. So there's quite a few rows between each decrease to make the snout because it's longer than the back of the head, of course. Well, yeah, well, we don't know what we. I mean, we are being relatively careful. We're not going nowhere, although Rooster's pretty much going nowhere. But I'm fairly cautious when I go anywhere, particularly the supermarket. Rush around the supermarket with a mask on, get out of there. And always get the hand sanitizer at the door, and then I run it up and down, my hand up and down with a sanitizer on the handle of the, what do you fellas call it? Basket. I think it's a weird name. Basket to me has got handles and you carry it. But anyway, the trolley thing that you push with the wheels on, that thing. Now I've lost where I am. I always sanitize the handles Because I just don't trust that everybody who was in there is going to be busy passing something nasty.
Yeah, they call it buggy in some areas too.
Okay, here a buggy is a thing you push a child around in. That's a buggy.
I thought that was a tram.
A what?
A tram.
No, pram.
Tram, I mean.
A pram is the old-fashioned one with the four wheels, big four wheels that the baby used to lie down in. But the new ones are called either buggies or, well, I always call them a pushchair. It's still a pushchair. I don't care what you want to call it. It's still a pushchair. It's a chair you push, it's got wheels on. A pram they used to lie down, and then to me in a pushchair they sit, or you can lie a pushchair back a bit. It's the other thing they call it. Not a word I use often because I'm not really talking about pushing kids around. A buggy or a stroller. I think that's another dumb word for it, but there you go. Yeah, stroller, I think, sounds like you're going for a slow walk somewhere strolling. You know. Any rate, I still remember going into a supermarket in Texas. One of the first few times I went in there was probably when I was actually visiting before I actually moved there. And I bought some stuff. And the lady behind the counter said, would I like a sack for that? And I'm like, what on earth do I want a sack for? Okay? A sack is made of sacking material. Huge big thing. Brown normally, or off brown. You put spuds, potatoes, and onions and stuff in. The sack is huge, and it's. Yeah. And I said, oh, and she held up a plastic bag. I thought, well, yes, I'd like it in a plastic bag. If you call it a sack, I suppose so. Now, of course, everybody you called the things that push around in the supermarket, they called those baskets. Well, to me, a basket has handles, and you carry it. Basket. You know, like, what's that silly girl in the red coat's name? Little Red Riding Hood. She carried a basket with stuff in for your grandmother. Anyway. Oh, he doesn't behave, you know this. Oh, well, Rooster can't be too bad if he's being cheeky over there. There was another funny word that nobody seemed to understand, cheeky. I had to explain that.
No, I'm miserable.
Poor old Rooster's miserable. He's not going to last long. He's fading over there. He's like, I don't know about winding down. You're just falling down.
Yeah, that too.
He got up a little bit before I did this morning. I thought it was strange that he was getting up so early. I thought, nope, I know I'm not taking the kids to school this morning. The grandfather on the other side. Is that right? Their mother's father, put it that way, wanted to take them. Although I have a funny feeling that he was talked into it by Miss Number 8. Pretty sure that's how it really went. Anyway, Grandpa took them. So I woke up this morning, I rolled over and thought, I don't have to get up. And I'm not gonna either. So I did not get up at Lady Frenzy hour of the morning. I got up at Kiwi hour of the morning. The sun was way over, coming up. Comes up that way. Anywho. So just finishing off this head. It's a nice day out there. Blue sky, tiny little breeze, fluttering the leaves around. It's actually quite warm outside. I went outside in just short sleeves. It was quite comfortable. In fact, the heating's off in here at the moment. So it goes on thermostat and it's turned itself off, so it thinks it's warm. Went up to 21 yesterday, which is... okay, so what do? You take off 32. No. Can you do it? You double it. and add 32. So 42 and 32, 74. Yeah, we're up 74 yesterday. Ish. Oh, you dirty sleeping. How late? How normal. Hang on, no, 1, no, 2. Oh, 9 sounds about right. What's your problem? I used to have to get up early to go to work. Mornings and me do not get on. We've never got on. Bruce is not really a morning person. He's a bit more than I am. Only time now, which has not been for quite a few years, I might add, that I get up early, I mean really early, like your kind of early, is if we're going on holiday and I want to miss the traffic. I'll get up at 30 o'clock, like 6 or something. Maybe even have us 5. So we can be on the road by 7. Try and miss some traffic, but nowadays you never miss the traffic. Math? Yeah, I had to do math, yes. That's how I work out the temperature, see? If it's 20 here, well, I know it's 70 because we know that off by heart, but 72-ish. So you take our temperature, you double it, and you add 32. Right? So that's where you get to 21 is about 73, 4-ish, 72-ish, maybe. And if you're coming back the other way, you take off 32 and then you halve it. It's close. It's not exact. It's definitely not an exact thing. Well, I'm here. I'm on. It's just that that rooster might fade. He's pretty much fading now. He's watching something else on. He's watching 3 things. He's listening to me. He's watching a video, and he's watching the screen as well. He's being very clever. I think we might have lost Frenzy. She's there. Hello, she is still there. We all used to be Fahrenheit. I mean, we were Fahrenheit when I was young, a while ago. Back in the old days, we did pound, shillings, and pence like England, because that's where we come from in the first place, most of us. And we did Fahrenheit, and we did yards and feet and inches and miles. What else is there? Ounces. We did pounds and ounces. But unlike you guys, we did stones. So a stone is 12. Yeah, hang on. I've got to think now. 16 ounces to a pound, 14 pounds to a stone. But I say stones to the rest of you looks at me funny. So we did stones. And now we do all the other things. We do Celsius, not Fahrenheit. We do kilograms and except for babies. I mean, they do announce what babies were born at in kilograms. Everybody goes, oh. I mean, I know that 4 kilograms is 9 pounds. That's pretty close. So you can kind of work it out from there. And we do dollars and cents. You do dollars and pennies, but hang on, do you do cents? Yes, you do cents. England does pounds and pennies, not pounds, shillings, and pence, but they do pounds and pennies. Yes, and you do dollars and cents. We do dollars and cents. Australia does dollars and cents. And now we do kilograms and milligrams and those things. But I still, in some ways, go back to some of the others, like money, that's fine. Distance, like miles, kilometres. I don't use miles except when I'm trying to explain something to Rooster who doesn't understand what I'm on about. Yeah, yards and meters are close. So yeah, I mostly, but when it comes to length, Like, I know that from my thumb to my finger is 8 inches. So when it comes to centimetres, no, I'm into inches. But I can look it up. Doesn't matter. But when I talk about it, it's inches. Yeah, I'm mostly into kilograms, except for babies. I don't understand. Well, I sort of do. As I say, I know 4 pounds, a 4 pound baby, a 4 kilogram baby is 9 pounds. Okay, so what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You've lost me. 3 rows, 2 more. Fahrenheit is so stupid. Well, see, hour 0 is freezing, and that's kind of helpful. So you know if it's getting near 0, it's got blinky cold. Period of stupid. Why? An extra 2. Don't know. I don't know. You tell me why. Why did they do it in the first place? Well, I mean, if you want to go back to Roman times, isn't it your hand? Isn't that a cubit? And then they talk about horses being so many hands high, which is also weird. I mean, I've got short little hands, and I don't have long arms, so my would be useless to measure by. Maybe people had long feet, like Rooster. I don't know anybody with a foot long. Although who's getting that close? Well, of course, they'd like to make the whole world decimal, but people are going to fight it. Like especially the US are going to fight it. This is how it's always been. You know that one? How that goes? It's always been this way. That's how it is. They're never going to get everything universal. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so that's 3 rows. How many stitches have I got? 2, 4, 6. So I'm nearly done this head. Took me too long. I've been talking too much. Knit it together all the way across. Okay, and then 3 more rows. So what time you got? Which way are you? The other way. So you got like, I'm lost. Oh, you got early mornings still. No, you got evening. 9:15, yeah? Ish? In the evening? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yesterday. Said it's what's today here? Friday here. Yeah, it's a quiet stream today. I thought, oh yeah, I'll hop on at this time of the day. I might see some more people, but it's very quiet today. People have been popping in and out. We know that. That happens all the time. 9:17, yeah. 9 o'clock. Oh well, I thought I'd get on anyway because I'd like to see if I can finish this mouse, and I've just dropped this stupid stitch. Help. I looked down for a second, looked up, and I didn't go, under properly, and how that goes. This is that funny spongy yarn. Well, I call it spongy. Squishy. Okay, boys and girls, this is wrong. I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed. Brr. Okay, people, what's happening? Those two should have been knitted together. Drop down 2 rows, and it's a knit 2 together thing. Yes, and this time I could have jolly well undone 2 rows and redone them again, instead of puddling around. Done. Well, it looks a bit untidy, I have to say. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Looks wrong. Hey, what? Airplane? What airplane? What are you on about? Grump, grump.
Now she's talking about she thought you talking about an airplane, but she's talking about your time over there.
Yeah, 9:17. I'm just agreeing with it. Oh, that's wrong too. It's a knit 2 together row. So when I'm picking it up, I'm not going to do that one. Help. Ooh, speaking of airplanes, an airplane went over yesterday because we're sort of not far from the flight path. That was low as. I'm like, good grief. What's so low for? It was really low. Now look at you, dumb thing. Looking up at you. What are you doing? You thought you heard an airplane. Oh, so. No, not today. Don't even think there was a loud car or truck anywhere. Poor old rooster, he's not doing very well over there. He's going to fade. He's fading already. Okay, so now we're back where we should have been. Now I'll do 3 rows. So the theory is I'm going to finish this mouse and maybe the pukeko. Still have to. Okay, that's not right either. Split a stitch on the row before. Oh yeah, I was saying this yarn's kind of squishy. It is. It's a very spongy yarn. Kind of funny when you're knitting it, feels like that too. See? Ah. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, I'm trying to decide, do I want to do a scarf on that other fella? I mean, they don't all have to be the same, you know what I mean? I'll think about it. So what you been up to anyway, friend, apart from getting up late? Can't imagine you sitting around not doing much. Oh no, what did I see? I was flying past having a look at what everybody was doing yesterday before I went and did something else, and you were doing farming? I think it was yesterday. Was it you doing farming? I think it was you doing farming yesterday. But by the time I come back later, you'd gone. Okay, so that's the last 3 rows. It should not have taken anywhere near that long, but I did something dumb. So I'll cut enough off that I can sew the head up and sew the head on. Then I'll think to myself, where's my needle? Here it is. They just bung my needle in the yarn, you see? That one. Okay, so this is just, with the last 8 stitches, just run the stitch through, pull up for the nose. So later on, I'll have to figure out all my stocks and stuff. I have to put prices on some things, like the other mice in the Georgie pig that I made since the last market. He's not got a price on him yet. I like to put prices on everything so there's not a question. Because I know if I'm looking at somebody's stall and there's not a price on something and they're busy, I walk away. The Pukeka needs price. I think I'm going to put my Pukeka price up. I think he's worth more than what I've been selling him for. They won't be able to compare it to anything else because the other one's not there. It's all gone. And I've got to price the mice. Where else have I made? I think that's what I mostly made, this last month. Or 3 weeks, technically. Because I already had the mice at the last one, so I made 4 mice. But then, as I say, I've been busy doing those accounts. And they take hours. Oh, kitchen and laundry, boring. You know what you mean. Speaking of which, I've got some laundry needs hanging out sometime. I'll wait there for now. It's a nice day out there, though. Games and writing patterns. Oh, that's right, you're doing that thing for putting your pens and needles and stuff in. I've got one's called a old coffee cup. Well, if you're not been feeling well, you can't be expected to do too much, huh? Although, generally we try and plough on, don't we? So I'm just starting up this little head. I'll just do a knot there because I'm just going to slip across this next bit. Because that's the bit where I'm going to put the stuffing in, and I'll sew that out later. And that'll be fine because that's the bit where the head's going to get sewed onto the body. Just tying up the end of the row, the stitching, so that when I get there, it all matches. If it was a big thing, I'd have a knitting needle in there marking it. Yeah, Bruce is just about at it over there. I think he's going to give up shortly. Probably needs to sleep. You've been taking something?
Yeah, but give me some coffee so I can take some more cortisol.
Or even if you only do water.
I don't drink water. I drink water, just coffee.
Mm. Paracetamol. Okay. He is not a happy camper, poor old thing. He was hoping to go to something tomorrow too, but won't be doing that, I don't think. We gotta get better. That's how it goes. Hang on, this thing is not behaving. Yarns. Here we go. Okay, excuse me, you dumb thing. So I'll just run that stitch back to where I left the little gap. Trying to stay rested. Well, sometimes doing things like games is a good idea. I mean, if my brain is functioning, which sometimes when you're stuffed up it doesn't, if my brain is functioning, I'll sit and knit, listen to music or watch something on the computer or talk or whatever. I was going to sit outside for a wee while, we're sure it's nice and warm out there. It's quite warm out there. The sunshine might do you good.
Or another bit of cold air.
No, it's not cold. It's lovely and warm. Especially if you get out of any breeze, which I don't think there's much. I mean, you look outside at the tree, it's going, So no, it's not really any breeze here at all. You'll find it lovely and warm, but you might find it too warm. Okay, just cut that end off. So head done. No, I could have done that eucalyptus thing in water too. Huh, last time I was in the supermarket, I went to the where you can buy medicine type things. It's not pharmacy stuff, but you can get like, paracetamol, plain painkillers, Vicks, like your mentholatum, cough drops, stuff like that. Sticky plasters for you fellas guys. Band-aids. Band-aid is a brand here. The thing is a sticking plaster, and there's Band-aid, and there's Elastoplast, and there's other brand names. And anything to do with colds are gone. There's a thing you can take. It's got vitamin C and stuff. It's called Codral for colds that are gone. Things for sore throats, all sorts. Only time you can get it is first thing in the morning if they've stocked the shelf. Just putting some stuffing in this little lid. Oh, and drink plenty of fluids. That's the other silly thing you've got to do. Sounds weird. You're all stuffed up with fluids and you're supposed to drink fluids. I know it works, but it sounds odd. I just hope I don't come down with this thing. I hope the one thing that Earth has got is just the last one hanging on and I don't need to get sick again. It really doesn't work very well. Gotta keep going. Try and do reasonably preventative type stuff. Vitamin C, which they say helps, but some of them, if it's a virus, it's just helping treat symptoms, isn't it really? Or helping your body fight them. I think that's mostly what the vitamin C does. Helps your body fight it. Just put in the little head, more stuffing. So this is the third gentleman mouse that I've made in the last few weeks. If you have a look in the photos there, you'll see the last two sets. Well, they're not a set, but I made one of each. A lady and a gentleman. There's one there with a red and black outfit lady, and the gentleman grey and something with a grey hat. There's a little head. Ugh. And then there's a lady all dressed in red, and a gentleman in blue and grey, which actually happened to be right here. There's the lady. Oh, moving the stuff in. There's the other guy. And I've just realised that my other lady, I've just finished doing my third lady, I forgot to put ears on the back of the hat. See, it sort of goes up there, so it looks like it's sticking through the hat. So I need to do that sometime. I only finished her very late last night before I went to bed, so I looked at it and thought, yep, she looks right. I could pretend her ears are hiding in her hat.